Well, hey everybody, welcome back to Design in the Dark, the show where we have no idea what's going to happen today. Hello, guest, who are you?
Hey, I'm Wade Acuff, artist and illustrator.
The only Wade Acuff? Oh my god, are there other Wade Acuffs? Have you ever Googled your name and
There,
found other people?
I know there are other Timothy Acuffs. I'm sure there's other Wade Acuffs.
Okay. Well, welcome to the program. If you are just joining us, this is day two. Yesterday, we did a bunch of stuff. We illustrated a character, which we're going to take a look at in just a second. If you've never been on the show, Wade, do you want to tell them how it works? Usually I do this, but I think you have a grasp.
Yeah, you guys provide everything we're creating, basically.
That's true. So we'll go through and have basically a Mad Lib that you all are filling in, and our friend Wade is illustrating live based on your suggestions. So we need you to warm up those fingers. Yesterday we got real crazy. What was your favorite thing from yesterday, Wade?
I don't know probably the location where he lives. We talked about this briefly. Like whoever came up with the bluff, what was it called? The
The
bluff?
bluff of, let's see, the bluff of Zandatrunk.
That's what it was. I
Yes,
couldn't
that was
remember it because it was so unique. But the fact
fantastic.
that it was a bluff was the
Yes.
part that was like, I don't know, it stuck, it stayed with me.
Yes. And yeah, hopefully this will be fun. Hopefully you guys will have a good time. Warm up your fingers because we are about to get started. Let's go ahead and hop in here, and Wade, I'm going to show your screen and I'm going to read out what we have so far, and then we're going to kind of show where we ended yesterday and then where we're going to today. And I believe the first thing that we talked about doing today was incorporating some kind of tail, whether or not this character has a tail. So we're going to do that, and then we're also going to work on a companion today, which will be fun. So here's our brief of where we've landed so far. The obtuse, smelly, mischievous hero appears. From the bluff of Zandatrunk, Scales McLizardface is a reptilian creature with a glass eye. On the way to retrieve the stinking carcass of a huge gnarly spider with his coconut weapons, Scales McLizardface will face danger around every corner. He has his spider boba elixir in hand. And it's not an easy trek through a location with the constant lurking of blank and enchanted objects. Fear not, they are accompanied by companion name, adjective species that has the power to secret power. So we were talking about this yesterday, and here's what we want to do right off the bat is I want to decide whether or not this character has a tail. Um, Wade, we had a bunch of suggestions yesterday. Do you remember any of the suggestions that we had?
For the tail specifically,
Yeah, I think that we had some people in chat. Feel free now to start putting in suggestions if we want a tail, what kind of tail that it is. I feel like yesterday we had somebody that said like a skunk tail at one point. Um,
I do want to say before we get started,
oh,
so that
yes.
we can jump right onto the tail and then companion and all of that. I spent a little bit of time, maybe about a half hour or so. This is where we left off yesterday, but then I took the liberty to add the feet, the goat tripe feet with fur, and then do a little bit of line cleanup. And so this is where we're starting from day two.
Yes, and I love that I love the detail that you did on like the breastplate, that it was kind of just this like shirt that's like
Oh
there,
yeah,
and
yeah.
now it's like this ribbed kind of like armory kind of thing. And I feel like you do this a lot in your work is you'll start playing with lines that like lead places. Do you do that intentionally to like create motion?
Yeah, a lot of times, I mean, just in this case, it creates like a form of the chest. You kind of get, a little sense of maybe it's armor, maybe it's a little hard shelled. I mean, a little bit of costume design mixed in there.
Yep.
Uh,
You're right. It does feel like he has some kind of almost like a like horned toad or like the lizard like that has all the spikes that it has a little bit of that on his chest. Um,
yeah, yeah.
so Giratima says that we should incorporate a tail that has spikes at the end that he can use as a weapon as well.
Okay,
So
okay.
maybe like the dinosaur, right? That dinosaur that has like it's like a ball at the end that has spikes on it.
Right,
You know what
right.
I'm talking about?
Yeah, let me get rid of this is actually the tail we started from yesterday. I left that alone.
And
But I want to be able to see the tail.
And yes, Samuel, we will be getting to the companion right after the tail. So start thinking of your ideas, and I'll ask for those in just a second. And then you can start dropping them in. And for those asking, yes, this is our reptilian creature named Scales McLizardface.
Scales Lizardface from the bluff of
Xandatrunk.
Xandatrunk. Okay.
Yes, and yes, the legs and feet looked absolutely amazing. I so agree.
Oh, speaking of the little furry feet, I thought it didn't make a lot of sense for it to be if that showed up there with the fur. I did a little fur pass for the forearms. So
Oh yeah.
you guys let me know if you think that works for you. We can roll with that too.
I love that. We were talking yesterday so much about combining species and getting inspiration from like different things, and I love that it is that like goat reptile mix that you wouldn't think would go together. It's like, oh yeah, he can totally have like hair on his arms and then scales everywhere else. Like, why not?
Yeah, and it kind of leads some of that same it kind of just combines some of the things like you just said. For the feet area, same with the hands. It's kind of like the appendages both have that fur towards the end of them.
Yep. And I like to think that like he actually has fur, but he just like we like shave a beard or a mustache. Like he like shaves his arms, but then like above his ankles, like that's shaved as well. And then it's like, oh yeah, it's just like an aesthetic, like it's like having a beard or a mustache that like the species will decorate their bodies differently as if it as a beard or mustache. That's super fun. The Reverb Mike says the furries are digging the fur. Yes, true. We talked yesterday about the like cosplay community a little bit, having those kind of hoof feet that are real things that actually exist in the world right now. So yes, this would actually be a super fun like cosplay with the prosthetics and like all the spider legs you could like motorize to like move around.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Thought about making this guy really tall as well. A little hard to do now, but it was a thought early on.
That you got to get that liquefied. Here's what I want to do. Wade, I want to do this so bad. Take one of your characters and hand them off to like a like fashion retoucher and have them like retouch a character like frequency separations on the skins and like elongate the neck and just turn them into like this supermodel cover.
Absolutely. All right, so we wanted spikes on the tail, is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, little spikes in the back there. That's rad. And as Wade keeps working on that chat, we are going to move and get the character that is his companion started. So Wade can keep going, and we'll get that just in our brains. So let's get some suggestions. What is the companion? What kind of creature is the companion for our friend Scales McLizardface? What kind of companion does he have? And yes, if you're just joining us, Design in the Dark, you make the decisions, so it does get a little bit crazy. If you think this is weird and confusing, it's kind of your fault. But welcome to the stream. If this is your first time, you can blame everyone else in chat, because we got real wild yesterday, and I'm hoping that we'll work our way up today. We've started with like a tale that feels pretty basic, so once we start getting into these other creatures, hopefully we can ramp up into the insanity that was yesterday. And yes, Sam Peterson says this is unrealistic beauty standards for the lizard community.
Oh, we still have to add color. We're going to do that right at the end, though.
Cool.
We're going to do a quick color pass at the end. It's going to be dirty. But...
So we've got a lot of suggestions coming in. A magical sloth, a panda, a robot frog, a bat, a hawk, caterpillar, a ferret, an anteater. I really like the idea of a ferret just because of like we said that he was obtuse and mischievous, and I feel like that's a really good pairing for a ferret to be his like extra thing, because it is also obtuse and mischievous. Samuel Santos, a winged sloth that yields magic. That's so fun. There we go. This is where I wanted to be.
It will have a magic power, right?
Yes. So Ferret will have a magic power, and let's name it. Why not, chat? So, chat, give me the magic power that our ferret will have, as well as the name of our ferret, and I will incorporate that into our brief right now. Let's see. Boba elixir in hand. There we go. They are accompanied by their blank, a magical ferret. Actually, we need to decide what the magical ferret. All right. The honey badger, don't care. Yes. Fire breathing ferret. I imagine casting times would be really slow. Yes. Ooh, Mingo for the name. Ooh, Mingo's like fun. Invisibility. That could kind of be like, it'd be a little Cheshire catty. So maybe that. So
it's already doing. He's using his magical power.
He's using his magical power. And thanks for tuning in for Design in the Dark. We're done for day 1. Thank you for joining us. All right. So let's. His name was Mingo. And then a really interesting suggestion just came in from our friend Steve. He's a ferret, but he has a few quills, and he can shoot his quills. So much like a porcupine, he's like a ferret porcupine mix.
Okay. Should we do this on a separate layer so that we can get into it? I mean, a separate, like hide this all together and.
Oh yeah. We can really get into it, and then maybe we can incorporate him at the end.
Yeah, that can work. And maybe let's see. Yeah, we'll just start a new layer. All right. So what is it going to be? It's the ferret, correct?
Yes, it is a ferret, and this ferret is named Mingo. He's a magical ferret, and he has the power to shoot quills.
Mingo, the magical ferret?
Yes, and I'm guessing since he is magical, these quills as well are also magical quills. They are magical by relation.
And I am not. I may have to jump to some reference here in a minute, but right now I'm just kind of going off of what I can remember a ferret might look like.
See, I'm doing the same thing in my brain, and what my brain is actually doing is it's taking the top half of a flamingo and then just like chopping it and being like, that's a ferret, and it has like stripes. I have no clue what a ferret actually looks like. And while Wade works on this, I'll go ahead and read our brief. It looks like we filled in all of the things that we need to fill in for now. At the end, maybe we might do some other stuff with the setting. But for now, here we go. The obtuse, mischievous hero appears from the bluff of Xandertrunk. Scales McLizardface is a reptilian creature with a glass eye. On the way to retrieve the stinking carcass of a huge gnarly spider with his coconut weapons, Scales McLizardface will face danger around every corner. He has his spider boba elixir in hand and is accompanied by Mingo, a magical ferret that has the power to shoot quills. That's funny. Girotima says, and everyone opens Google to look up ferret.
Absolutely.
So chat is helping us here. They're saying that it's like an otter, and then Sam also says it's combining a cat and a snake but fuzzier.
Right.
Love that. Yes, I feel like these Can
the ferret be doing something? Can we I mean, I know it has the quills, right?
Yeah. What do we want? Do we want like an action pose? Like what's happening with this ferret?
I mean, like, can it be maybe has something else that it uses for aiding scales? Maybe, I don't know.
Oh yeah, maybe it has. I wonder if it has something around its neck that is some kind of like, you know how the Saint Bernard has like the barrel of whiskey or whatever. Like it has something around the neck that can like save scales or something. Chat, let me know if what we should incorporate into this ferret, whether it's something with his body or it's something that he is has. Jamie says that he should be stealing a sip of the boba elixir.
Oh no.
But it has the floating eyeballs in it. Oh, did I put that it was eyeballs in there? I don't think I did.
Yeah, I think you left eyeballs out.
I did. I need to put that in there.
Yeah.
There we go.
I think I remembered that, but
Eyeball boba elixir. It was eyeballs, not spiders. There we go. We'll update that for us just to make sure. Ferrets can be vicious. They open their mouths and the hair on their neck flares out. Yes, and they shoot their magical quills, actually, as prescribed here on Design in the Dark.
right.
So someone, Giratima says, give him a partial tortoise shell, maybe. Maybe it's like a helmet that he wears, like a tortoise shell, like a helmet. Or like a tiny little hat. Or maybe it's his body.
Okay.
I know. We're throwing all kinds of curveballs at you as we go.
He only wears a real turtle on its head, so there's like an extra companion for the companion.
Oh, I love that the companion has a companion. That's actually really fun.
Gonna be strapped. Gonna be wearing it.
Yes, and I love that he's strapped on and he's not like holding on. I love the scene where like there's action happening and the turtle is just like sitting there like looking around. But maybe the turtle is like the like true secret power. Right?
Ooh.
Like Dragon Ball Z where like they power up to like a whole new level that like it evolves or whatever and the tortoise or the little turtle actually becomes like giant and the ferret like runs on it and like it turns into like Blastoise and the ferret's like shooting.
We are way off the map now.
It's gone totally insane.
Love it.
Yes.
I love it.
I feel like ferrets like shiny things, so maybe he's wearing some rings. That's an idea. I like this. And the turtle has a snail companion. We have to go deeper, Sam says. It's just a stack of companions. Y'all are ridiculous. All right,
so what is the ferret riding? That's the next question.
I know, it just like continually goes down. Yeah. Yes, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. All right, we need to actually get something done on this ferret. So we're going to continue on the ferret, and then we'll keep adding suggestions as they come. But for now, let's get this ferret going and talk a little bit about your process so that we don't get too off topic. We talked about this yesterday. Your process is to start on a neutral gray, and then how did you describe like how you paint?
We haven't really gotten to the color part of it, but I do tend to think of it like sculpting with essentially just sculpting with the light. So if I'll choose you can see it more on our character here, but I choose a light source, which is sort of from the front here. And then I just use that as a way to kind of start the form. And I'm trying to get there with the ferret, but we're not quite there yet.
Yep. Is it hard in your brain, like right now, to be figuring out and thinking about both the lighting and the like shape of the subject?
Yeah, right now I'm like sort of dealing with the anatomy of this and trying to get it to be standing up, even though they don't do a lot of standing up without holding on to something from what I'm seeing.
Yep. I think if we just go to like, it's maybe a ferret-ish creature, that we take some liberties as well.
Right, and that was my plan, is to kind of have like a meerkat type hybrid.
Yes. I love that, and I am just absolutely in love with this turtle on his head. Oh, Chad, here's something that you're great at. In Design in the Dark, you're fantastic at like making me almost cry with how cute things are. We've done this multiple times. I believe last week we had a bulldog that had like cheek flaps that were like pancakes that were flying. And I just about cried because it was so cute. So this is pushing those limits as well.
I still want to have something like around his neck that he's holding, like I don't know what that would be.
Talisman or something. Chat.
Yeah, exactly. Like maybe. Oh, we have to get the quills on here, right?
So... Oh yes, maybe the quills are on his tail, and he like throws them off of his tail.
I like that. They both have tail weapons.
Oh, that's true. Yes. And they do like a fusion and like put them together like Avatar, and then they like shoot one giant quill. Jamie says, "Can I adopt him? He's so cute." I mean, I might be first in line, but yeah, you can have like one of the subsequents because it is so cute. Which, wait, I feel like this is like out of your zone. I feel like your stuff's usually...
I love it because it is a little bit like not my usual.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's usually your stuff is a little darker, a little more on the villainous side,
Right,
and
right.
this feels like the most like Disney cute.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's fun to try in just about anything, and especially doing it live and have to perform and have to, create something is just it's a lot of fun.
Yep.
Thanks, chat. I appreciate it.
Rick has a great suggestion: a compass around his neck. I love
Oh
that.
my gosh,
Es-
yes.
Especially because they're on this journey and they're going to find something. I love the idea of Scales McLizardface being this kind of like hunter that is good at the hunting part, and then Mingo being like, I'm the guide and I can get to the treetops to like figure out where we need to go. And oh, that's so fun.
Yes.
Oh, look at he's holding it. He's just like grabbing on. Here's what I want. I've never wanted more in my life to be a compass. I think that's like I want to be a tiny little compass and have Mingo just hold me right there, and I would be so happy.
All right, so I
Chat.
think
I
we're
just
starting to get into the groove here.
Yep. It's that warm up. Once you hit it, you got it. Chat. We need to. I just realized this. We need to name the turtle as well. So let's name that turtle. What is the cute little name of the turtle? I feel like it needs to be a short name. I don't know why, but like it just feels so tiny. Um, and Wade, you also stream here on Behance, right?
I do. I'm actually going live 30 minutes after this ends.
Oh, that's intense. That's very
Yeah.
intense. So come for the after party. You can follow Wade at the link that our mod is about to drop in chat when this catches up, or you can follow him, I believe, down below or over in the info tab. Make sure you follow. It will give you a notification when he goes live 30 minutes after this. And what are you working on tonight?
I haven't decided. It depends on. I thought about maybe continuing this,
Cool.
depending on where we get. But also, a lot of times there are prompts for Behance streamers, and I think this week's is witches, so I might be doing something like that.
Sweet. There are prompts for us?
Well, if you want to participate, I
Oh,
mean,
cool.
it's yeah.
That's fun. I also will be going live tonight at some point. I'll be working on a book cover and a movie poster. Probably after I'll be live 30 minutes after Wade is live. You've got plans for the whole night, chat. Just hang out right here, behance.net/live. Um, I like the idea. Somebody had a great one. Tutu, I think. Tutu is a really cute name for a turtle. So he's going to be named Tutu. And he will be the cutest little turtle I've ever seen. And Wade, you just did the thing again. Oh, no. Sorry. There's a cuter name. I'm sorry, Ariana. We're going to name him Lid. Because Lid is the greatest name for a
Yeah.
turtle that's a hat. Yes. All right. Turtle named Lid. I love that. And you just did something, Wade, that I think we talked about yesterday, but what just happened with your artboard that it looks different
Uh,
now?
Yeah, I'm just flipping it horizontally. If you go to view, flip horizontal, this is actually new as of like, I mean, it's not super new. 2019, I think they started having this where you can just flip your artboard. If you notice, the navigator doesn't move, but it just lets you see from a different perspective your drawing.
Yes.
Uh, I tend to adjust things after I flip over to, oh, this looks a little off. Let me check it. Scenario. But
Um,
go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say, somebody said, "Do you think that this is how Rocket was designed? Rocket Raccoon? They just tried to make it as cute as possible." Probably. Probably there were a lot of iterations like this that like they just kept going and going and going. Which, speaking of character design, I don't know how much you can talk about, but you work on a lot of movie stuff, right? Doing like character design and concept art and motion stuff. You do a little bit of everything.
I do. I do a little bit of motion. If you ever hear me say I'm a artist, animator, motion graphics artist, I do some motion graphics work as well. Um, it just depends on what I'm doing at the moment, which hat I'm wearing. Uh, but yeah, usually for the movie stuff, I mean, I've done some storyboards, I've done some concept art. Actually, get into the production part of it. I do sometimes work with the props department, or even just set decoration, which is completely not really. It's still part of the art department, but it's kind of a different thing altogether. It's not like not always making the things, but you kind of have to be present and ready to do anything on the fly that needs, made or created. Um,
What do you have any movies that you could name for our chat that's like, oh yeah, that does feel like Wade, or is it all
well, as far as
secrets?
no, they're not all secrets, but as far as like most notable, I did work on Return of the King. I was a 3D modeler for Weta. That's another hat that I do wear sometimes. So it's kind of it's a little hard to put into a box of what I do because I kind of float around and do different things.
Yes.
Um, I
I
worked on
100% want to make an edit of the scene where it's like, and my bow and my axe, and then you pop up and you're like, and my tablet.
nice. I was an animator on Between the Lions, if you guys know that. It's a PBS show. I was with them for 6 years doing some of their work,
That's
doing some
awesome.
work for them.
Was it I guess was it something that you like had wanted to do to work with PBS? I feel like that's like a designer's dream every time they're like, "Oh, I want to work like some kind of PBS thing because it's just awesome." Was that a dream? Was it amazing? What was it like?
Oh yeah, no, it was great. It really was. It was kind of one of those like I was working for a production company at the time, and it kind of just happened through them. And then next thing I know, I was working with WGBH. They're out of Boston. They were producing Between the Lions. So yeah, it just kind of happened that way. And just being in the right place at the right. I mean, it was kind of luck. Kind of, I was ready for it. It kind of just came up,
Yep.
and it was a fun ride for a while. Hated to see it end.
Yep. Oh, Chad Rolfs is in chat. Hey, Chad. What's up? Chad does some awesome work as well. If you guys want to click on that little bubble next to his name, check out some of his work. Look at this little guy. I love the balance that you found between like proportions of not being a like real creature but being a fantasy creature but like kind of being a bunch of things. I like that it's not one thing, it's just kind of a bunch of things.
Well, yeah, it kind of really just took its own. Became its own creature.
You know who it reminds me of? It reminds me of the squirrel from Nemo's Adventures in Slumberland.
Oh,
Do you know what I'm
a
talking about?
squirrel.
Yeah, so there's like this little squirrel, and he wears like an aviator cap with like big little glasses, and he's a flying squirrel.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
And so he like runs around and flies and is super cute. All right. So chat, to recap you, I have updated the brief. Let's go ahead and read this through. The second half is he has his eyeball boba elixir in hand, and he's accompanied by Mingo, a magical ferret that has the power to shoot quills. Mingo is an expert guide and draws his power from his turtle companion, Lid. Lid is just the cutest name for that little turtle companion. All right, so we're working on quills, and I think chat you'd said that he shoots quills out so that both of the creatures have tails that are kind of some sort of weapon. And at this point, Wade, you're kind of doing the shading, but right now are you trying to just get the forms down and then you're gonna mess more with the lighting?
Yeah, I'm just right now. I'm just still bulking out the volume of the shapes. Um, I don't know how much highlights we're gonna get on this, just because besides like in the eyes and
Unless it's
nose.
like a Pantene fur, it's like a
Yeah,
hair
yeah.
commercial where it's just like slick and
Like there
shiny.
will be like we can definitely add some sheen to different like where the light's coming from.
Yes, The Adventures of Mingo and the Lid. Oh, that's the spin-off. That's 100% the spin-off.
I kind of want to see that. No offense, Scales, but you're kind of getting one upped here.
It's it's kind of true. Oh, it's kind of true. It is really cute. And so, real quick, as Wade works on that, I'm going to flip over and tell you guys about something that's really exciting that's coming up. That's right, it's Adobe Max. Adobe Max will be here October 20th to 22nd, literally 1 week from today. There are some pre-conference events. If you want to check those out, there's a career boot camp that I'm sure Ahmad will drop a link to. But go register for Max. It is happening online. It is free for everyone. And once you start building out your course catalog, look for Com. You can check that out. See a lot of his amazing, incredible work. You can follow him on Instagram, which is the exact same. And we were talking about this yesterday, Wade. This is kind of a conversation. You don't curate your Instagram at all, right? You just like have stuff
No,
up there.
yeah, I kind of use it as a ongoing. I mean, I may at some point in the future, but I kind of use it as an ongoing, like, hey, you can go all the way back to when I started my Instagram and see how horrible everything is, or if you like it, how good it is. Uh, I use it as a reminder for that as well. Like I'll go back and be like, oh yeah, I remember when I did this and I thought it was brilliant, but I don't look at it like that anymore, you know? So it's always about kind of moving forward and, you know, the next piece you make is going to be your best, that sort of thing.
Yep. And it feels like you had a like robot phase, which I would never
Oh, I
think that
still
you would
do.
be in like a robot zone.
Someone said robot frog, and I was like, oh, pick the robot frog, pick the robot. I'm glad with I'm happy with the choices we've made.
That's so funny. I would never, because your stuff is so fantasy and like creature based, I feel like robot is the opposite of that. That it doesn't have like the textural skins and the unique features and
Right.
stuff, but then it looks like you've captured all that same stuff, but with robots, which is super interesting.
Yeah, I think that's part of the challenge of it is like I really like that idea of crossing sci-fi with fantasy. I don't do it a lot, but when I do, it's just a lot of fun. I'll put, you know, clothes on robots and, you know, I don't know. It's nothing super unique, but it's fun to do.
Yep. Do you have any like if you were mentally pulling inspiration for robots, do you have any like movie robots or any robots that pop in mind that
Oh
you're like,
man,
that's a great design?
anything Doug Chang has done. He did a lot of Star Wars concept work. Uh, Sid Mead style drawings. Any of those. Immediately, that's what I'm thinking about. Like, you know, and you can see a lot of the. I think you can see the Doug Chang stuff in my work, especially some of the earlier robots. It's just because, you know, hey, these look amazing, and if I can even come close to that, I would, you know, I'd kill for that ability.
Yep.
I've evolved them a little bit since then when I work on them, but it's still kind of always in the back of my head.
And Juratima is asking, how did Wade learn to draw? How did you get started in this? Because you've been doing it for like a hot minute, right?
Yeah, well, it's weird. It's a weird kind of. I mean, for me, it feels weird the way that I'm getting there now, because I've drawn my entire life, but I've always kind of put it away because like, oh, I'm gonna be a 3D modeler or I'm gonna do this thing, but I still kept drawing, not as diligently as I should probably at times. But over the past, it's been about 4.5, 5 years, I've been focusing a little bit more on illustration, and I mean, that's pretty much it. I've drawn my entire, you know, like every kid draws, so I just never stopped. I did go to school. I did go to art school, and I will say that helped. But you know, there's so many resources out there. You can get on the internet and learn just about anything you need to know. It won't be a good teacher, but it will definitely help you get started.
Yep. Something else to help you get started, Kyle Webster does something
Oh,
called a draw along. I believe he does it on Fridays. And it's just a fantastic show that helps you lay down some of the basics and learn how to draw, how to use lines, circles, squares to build basic shapes to create some interesting characters. So definitely tune in for that and follow Kyle Webster as well. Because it is that kind of base level of like, here's how to learn and get started. And yeah, YouTube and even here on Behance, like there are
yeah,
endless resources for you to level up and start learning things.
yeah, definitely. I mean, there's tons of resources, like I was saying. Yeah, look around Behance. There's amazing artists that are streaming all the time.
Yep. Oh, draw along is every day. Oh, well, that's good to know. I should know that. Yeah, Kyle's usually right after me, so I guess it is every day. Yes. And Fridays he does master class. That's right. That's right. Yes. And
Yeah.
Giratima, put on your calendar. Check it out. Add it to the cal, and watch away. And Wade, we have about 20 minutes left now, just so I don't
Oh,
tell you
whoa.
like yesterday where it's like we have 20 minutes or we have like 5 minutes. So we have 20 minutes left. So we've got a little bit of time, but not a ton.
So should we just work on coloring now?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Or do we have anything? Do we have any last minute ads? Like
Yes.
anything else you want to add?
Chat, any things that we want to add to this drawing before we hop into color? And then do we want to try to combine the two or do we want them
I'm
just
gonna I'm
completely
gonna
separate?
combine the two. I'm gonna
Cool.
combine the two as best as I can.
Gosh, he's so freaking cute. Let me know, chat. There's always like a little delay, so we'll get there of any other things that we want to add to this, and then we're gonna start popping color in. Wade, what's your process to like starting with color? Because I always feel like that's the scariest part.
And it still is for me. And it's not. I don't want to say it's scary. It's more of like, what method do I want to use this time?
Yep.
Sometimes when I know where I'm going immediately, like, oh, I've got this idea, and I'm just like, I don't know, a red, raincoat. I don't know, whatever. Or I'm gonna start there. I usually will start with the color, but since I had no idea what we were going with, I just started in grayscale,
Yep.
like yesterday.
It's all about the values.
Yeah, and get the values worked up, and then continue, with that until I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, let's start playing with color. And I'll jump into like we're gonna do a quick coloring process with using color layers and just painting with like the color mode for the layer is what I'm getting at there.
Yep. And chat says he is absolutely perfect. We don't need to change a thing. I agree. He is
Okay.
absolutely perfect in every way.
All right, then we will add him to the master comp.
Yep. I love that he also has a little bit of like red panda in his face.
There
Like
it
he's
is,
got
right?
just a tiny bit of that reference, which I love.
Let's see what I want to do here.
Ferret boots. Oh my gosh, that just made me so sad. No. He's too cute to be a boot. Oh, the little guy. And so when you are working, I know a lot of people in Photoshop talk about like non-destructive workflows. How do you just like work on one layer? How do you work with your different layers?
Man, I am probably the last person you want to discuss that with. However, I am pretty non-destructive because I just make a copy at every stage of the layer that I'm working on
Yep.
until I'm like refining something. Then I will, if I have to completely, like if I have to put it on a layer mask to make sure that I'm only selecting certain things, I'll do that. But for this, I'm painting mostly on one layer, and just getting it done as fast as we can.
Yep. Sorry, I had to go out so that people could see your layers panel. I always love when things are close enough near me on the screen that I can point to them or just model them as we go. And yes, Chad Rolfs was doing some fundamentals the other day. Nice. Red pandas and serval cats are ultra cute. Ooh, I don't know what a serval cat is. That sounds awesome. I have always wanted one of those Egyptian sphinxes, like the hairless cats. I just think they're gorgeous. Oh, look at the little guy.
Trying to figure out where I want to put him placement wise. So let's do this.
And you basically make a copy so that you have, and these are technically all opaque, right? They're just on that gray. So it's not like you'd have to separate anything if you needed to put them somewhere else.
Yeah, what I did just then, they are not opaque right now. Here, let me show you. They are, you can see they're transparent still. It's only because I'm only painting and pulling on that background.
Yep.
If I hover over, you can see it's just kind of on the top. But what I like to do now that this is an option is I go in and do, I'll hide this real quick. I use the selection, select subject.
Yep.
Let it make a selection. It has worked almost flawless. and then I will fill that, make a new layer, fill that with that background color, merge down. And so now it should be opaque, and I should be able to, let me grab him without a selection. Now I can paste him in front, and it'll,
Nice.
be floating.
Maybe he flies. Okay, so now we're gonna move into color. Where do we start with color? Just start throwing it on and see what happens?
Yeah, for me, like I said, it's gonna be quick. We're still at like what, 15 minutes maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be really down and dirty.
Love that.
But I'll talk a little bit about that process, and then more on where I would normally take something if I had the time. So first thing I'm gonna do is I created a new layer, and I'm just gonna make a clipping mask, and we will work on.
Here, I'm gonna do this for us. I'm about to fly, chat. Don't be. I just moved myself so that chat can see your layers panel a little bit better.
So I have a blank layer here, and I'm just gonna make a clipping mask for scales, and I'm gonna change that layer to color mode, because that it will be the least. It won't affect the values, but it'll allow me to place color.
Nice. And chat suggesting that our ferret Migo is blue.
Okay, that sounds great.
Love it.
So I'm just gonna start working on skin. Like I'm going like generic green.
Generically reptilian.
Exactly, generic reptile green. But we'll spice it up.
And it's crazy how you're dropping just one color. It's a flat green on there, but because you've sculpted, it's like it's catching all of the highlights, the lowlights. It's getting all of those shades and values of the green because you worked with the values before the colors.
Right.
That's very interesting. That it's I guess shifting the like hue. Well, I guess you're doing the saturations before the hue. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, and you can there's a little bit, and I was playing around with this. It can affect slightly the values, but not it won't be dramatic. Like for let's see. Well, I want to keep working here because I want to make sure we get most of this covered.
Oh, that's true. Wade's gonna go into focus mode. What color do we want the glowing eyeball boba elixir to be, chat? Let me know. We've decided on the blue ferret. What color is the elixir going to be?
So while they answer that, I'll talk a little bit about. So you'll see that I'm using I think this one's called. Don't close everything. This is the hue cube, but a lot of people like to work with the color wheel. But if I stay in the hue cube, and it doesn't matter which one you use, it will, in color mode, if I switch back to anything on this grayscale side of the hue cube, it's essentially acting as if I'm erasing, but I'm not. It's just not adding any hue.
Interesting. Yeah, because the color mode basically is only multiplying the hue with whatever other color that hue is interacting with.
Right. And also, here's a little tip. If you go into your eyedropper and select current layer, you can now select on that layer what you selected before, as opposed to everything below it or around it. If you do current, all layers.
That's smart.
So that way I can only work on the colors that are on that layer.
Yep.
And actually, I was reminded of that from watching just a few weeks ago. I think Sam was hosting Robot Pencil. I think it's Anthony Jones, and he was doing that, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a thing.
Yep. So Chad Rolfe says that it should be the color of bourbon, so maybe like an orangey brown, kind of in the drink.
Orangey brown, okay.
Orangey brown, which is kind of where you were in the hue box.
Orangey
Ooh. Brown. That looks tasty minus the eyeballs. So those are glowing eyeballs that you, chat, if you think that's gross, again, your own fault. You decided that yesterday for us.
What do we want his fur to be?
Oh yeah, what color do we want his fur? I think we do the fur the same as the ferret. So maybe he has like some kind of connection to the ferret. So we have like this blue, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe they're okay. Okay. Mm, I was gonna say maybe that like one of them is like their brother and sister or something, and like they're the same species, but like the males mutate to some other form, and like they're actually the same, and like they're brother and sister, or like it's a stretch, but maybe.
Roll with it. Roll
Roll with
with it.
it. Oh, love the blue fur.
Yeah, I'm adding just a little bit of color variation just to kind of mix it up a little bit.
Yep. And maybe okay, here's the story. Here's what the story is our friend, what's his name? Mingo?
Mingo.
Mingo.
Mingo with scales.
He sheds, and then as he sheds, they collect that and use it for warmth, and so he fashions the like sleeves out of it for warmth. So maybe those are leg warmers in theory.
That works for me, man.
We're
That
just
works.
making all kinds of things. And I love that you're creating the variation in the fur. It's giving me like Monsters Inc. vibe in a really, really great way. Do you ever use color to show like highlights and lowlights, like some kind of iridescence?
Yeah, so this is only like a quick way of doing color just to get started
Yep.
generally. So what I like to do is then if you see me, like if you come watch my Behance or whatever, you'll see me working in color. I'm not using a color layer, a color mode layer. I'm painting directly on the layer in normal as a normal mode. And this is just like a base coat. And then I'll start sort of like an oil painting style glazing where I'm just slowly picking colors I think will work and then massaging that just like I did with the values to get us to where we want to be.
Yep. Sorry, chat. I'm floating back to my location. I felt lost on the other side of the screen.
All right, so Mingo is also going to be
A little blue Mingo.
oh yeah, I have to add a well, let's go ahead and do all of him. We've got
Okay.
about what? Oh
Got
my
about
gosh.
10-ish minutes. We have about 8 minutes in reality.
Okay.
We have
Well,
8 minutes. We have 10 minutes until we get cut off from the stream. So, you know me, I will push all the way up to exactly that.
I like it. I like it. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what I did earlier and select the subject.
Oh, we're gonna go ahead and mask him out.
Yeah, I didn't do that. I thought I'd already done that. Here, let me take this off of. Trying to remember my hotkeys as well.
Keys. Hotkeys. The hotkeys to mask. Oh.
Drop that.
Oh, that's interesting to get to see the color. That it's literally like, cool, it's not any kind of crazy color. It's literally just flat colors that are thrown on and masked in.
Yep. Boom. And now we can actually use that gray background to help us color. Like it will actually color in now as opposed to before that was just kind of still opaque. Not opaque. Yep. The opposite of opaque.
And yes, Steve, we did get the ban hammer from the time yesterday. We almost made it. We were off by like literally 5 seconds.
All right, so I'm going to attempt. Someone said yesterday that these pants were the
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy. Yeah, so they have to be, right? They have to be that red.
Yes.
Okay.
Full red Eddie Murphy.
All right, I will give it a shot.
I like that he is just so cool, like with his, and I love the idea that the fur is like a fashion accessory. That he's like, oh yeah, I got this blue fur and I got my red leather pants and I'm like drinking my boba.
Right. I mean, he's definitely chill, but I think we missed the mischievous part a little bit.
I think it works. I think it definitely works mischievous. I think his brow bone, like the look on his face, definitely the ferret is like just cute. Like that's the only adjective that it needs. But I think he could be mischievous. Why not?
All right, what color is his vest?
What color is the vest up here? Can we do like a black? So it's just like a black and red.
Yeah, we can do that.
Like a brownish.
I would have to actually paint that in because you can't do.
Oh yeah, that's right. Maybe like a leathery, like a tanned leather.
Yeah. that works. I mean, we'll just throw this on here.
Sam, he's got them boots with the fur. Yes,
I
he
knew that was
does.
coming. I
That's
knew that was coming,
fantastic.
and I'm very okay with it.
That's
Very,
great. I feel like this is what I want my Dungeons and Dragons character to be.
oh yeah,
And more so, I want someone else to be that character, and for me just to play Mingo. Like Mingo, like they're like, oh yeah, I need a companion, and I'm like, okay, my character is dead, and I am
yeah.
now just Mingo.
This is where you show up and you're like, oh no, Scales is the companion. Mingo is the main character.
Yes, and Giratima says Mingo looks like a freshman, and McLizard looks like the final year chill dude. Oh, are you guys ready
I
for school? This is gonna be so exciting.
I can see that.
Do
That's
you
how you.
ever? Go ahead.
Oh no,
We also have 4 minutes. Do we ever
go
do
Mingo.
voices for your characters, like as you build them in your head?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Are we gonna do that here?
Oh no. I'm just curious, like in your brain,
Oh,
if you're
definitely.
like, oh, they like work like this and move like this and talk like this.
Absolutely. When Sam can attest to this, and the reason I won't do any voices because I did one for Sam once, and he said it sounded horrible.
Love it.
But um, definitely make voices, make characters, do the whole. I mean, do the whole thing. Why do I keep? What am I doing? Okay, color mode.
Great color on the leather. I agree. That is a really great leather color.
All right, here we go. Sorry, Mingo is gonna get the rush treatment.
Oh, a little blue Mingo.
Oh, we can't forget lid either. We got to get lid going.
Oh, that's true. I forgot that lid existed. I just thought it was a little helmet, and I forgot that lid was a thing. Man, this is levels of cute. I'm so proud of you, chat. Y'all did great.
Yeah, Chad, I was not expecting any of this. So,
And I feel like it pushed you a lot out of the comfort
oh,
zone of like creature that's like do something that's cute.
oh yeah, if you would have said before we started today, oh by the way, we're doing something kind of cute, I would have been like, no, 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 don't do that, don't go
Yep.
that way. I would have been out.
That is funny. Like as much as we like prep or plan or whatever, that it's like, all right, who knows what happens on the show? And that's the magic of design in the dark, is we end up with cool stuff that none of us thought was gonna happen. And looking forward, chat, if you want to join us, the next Design in the Dark will be November 2nd and 3rd, so just a couple weeks. And we are having none other than Amy and Jen Hood. That's right, we're having the Hood sisters on. And instead of doing a 2-day, we will be pitting them head to head against each other, doing the same brief that you create and building a brand for a SoCal lifestyle brand. So Amy will be on Monday, Jen will be on Tuesday, and then we'll bring them on to compare. So make sure you put that on your calendars, November 2nd and 3rd. And Sam says, is that Mingo's fur on his arms? Does Mingo just shed constantly? We kind of talked about that, and I think maybe.
Somehow they're a hybrid.
Yes, and
Or maybe, yeah, I like the idea that Mingo sheds and Scales just collects it and is like, I got to be stylish, my man.
yep. And even like, I mean, if he is an adventurer that's going to like kill stuff, it makes sense for it to be like, oh, we're in the wilderness and I'm cold. You have
Right.
fur. Why not just collect it and turn it into leg warmers?
I love it. Perfect.
Yes. All right. So we have 1 minute. So I'm going to go ahead and read our brief to give the full look at what we did together on Design in the Dark. So the obtuse, smelly, mischievous hero appears. From the bluff of Xandatrunk, Scales McLizardface is a reptilian creature with a glass eye. On the way to retrieve the stinking carcass of the huge gnarly spider with his coconut weapons, Scales McLizardface will face danger around every corner. He has his eyeball boba elixir in hand and is accompanied by Mingo, a magical ferret that has the power to shoot quills. Mingo is an expert guide and draws his power from his turtle companion, Lid. Wow.
Yeah.
We did it.
Wow.
How do you feel about it, Wade? How do we do?
Yeah, it's fun. Never would have gotten here without chat
Never. Thank
or
you,
you,
chat.
Andrew. Yeah.
This is the magic. This is what makes this show awesome. And there isn't any content right after this show, but if you do stay tuned, Wade, what are you doing?
right. In 30 minutes, I will be back here streaming live.
That's right. So tune back in 30 minutes for Wade's stream. And until then, I will see you all on Friday for Adobe Office Hours. And then next week for Adobe Max. Make sure you register, go sign up, and we will see you there. Bye.